Today we're looking at two heroes that you have to unlock, that is Mirage and Caustic. They're the ones that you don't get if you're free to play, and dropping a little bit of cash on a free to play game, well, that's the model and that's fair enough. But you guys at home are probably thinking, are these characters worth it? And let me tell you, honestly, the existing champions are super strong. Bloodhound is amazing, Lifeline is vital to a team, Bangalore's incredible with her passive, Double Time is super good, and Pathfinder, incredible flanker, super useful support for your team. I didn't mention Wraith and Gibraltar because I'm not sure if I rate them. Wraith, I've heard it said she looks a lot like a guy from One Punch Man. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We're going to look at Mirage and Caustic first up. So Mirage, his passive is on core. This is super great. Basically, when you're downed, you go invisible and a decoy is created where you die. This gives you about 5 seconds to get out of the firing line, get safe to cover, get to a place where your team can revive you. Gives him a lot of survivability. It's very useful. It's saved my life on several occasions. His Q, his active, is Psych Out. Sure, that's what it's called. You send out a decoy in front of you. Also, another curious quirk with this ability is the fact that A, you can use it while you're diving out of the dropship. You can send out a couple of decoys towards another enemy player to make them think there's someone in their area, just to spook out people and generally kind of play mind games. His ultimate, Vanishing Act, is one I don't rate so highly. I honestly think his active is way more powerful than his ultimate. What his ultimate does is makes you invisible, and you create a ring of decoys. In my head, Vanishing Act sounded amazing. You deploy a team of decoys to distract enemies while you cloak. Instead, they just all stand with their hands on their hips in a circle around exactly where you cloak. So any enemy that sees you doing this is going to know exactly where you've cloaked. Also, another thing with the cloak, it's not 100%. You're not completely invisible. There's a vague outline that skilled players will be able to see through and shoot you through. And while you are cloaked, you cannot take any actions. You can't use your abilities. You cannot shoot. Ultimately, I rate his ultimate low, very low tier. But his other abilities and just his general style and panache make him a reasonable hero in my eyes. So the second hero that we're going to look at is Caustic. That logo on the corner means he's a tank. So he does move slower. He's a bit more of a more unwieldy character. And that is a big reason why I don't play him. It's similar to why I don't indulge in Gibraltar as well. You feel a bit too bulky. You got a bigger model. That's an easy target to hit. Whereas Mirage, that's super slim. Ain't nobody hitting that waistline. Caustic's got some chonk on him, but his abilities are very, very interesting and very powerful in certain situations. His Q is a gas trap. You throw it down. You get 3 charges and they recharge over time. And it's a physical entity, right? So this gas trap will block players from moving through it. It will also block doors. It's actually a very useful barricade. And if players go near it, a toxic gas cloud is released, and the damage it does is very low. So this noxious gas trap only does about 1 or 2 damage per tick. That's super, super low. And when I say tick, it's like about a second, like tick, 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 tick. And 1 damage at that rate, very low indeed. However, enemies are reticent to go into this gas cloud. So if you throw it down around one of their down teammates, you kind of secure his position vaguely. Now, if they do go in, that's when you'll know it happened, because his passive, Nox Vision, you gain threat vision on enemies moving through your gas. So it's basically wall hacks if they're near your gas trap. And this means you have visibility inside the gas cloud, but they don't really. His ultimate is a Nox gas grenade. You blanket a large area in Nox gas. And again, the damage on this is not very good. It's still pretty low. The big advantage you have is that everything inside this area also triggers Nox Vision. So his strength really is setting up traps, awareness of where players are if you can set up and you know someone's coming, or you want to guard your flank, your sides to make sure no one comes in, and then knowing where they are when they set off these various traps. He's very powerful, but again, very situational. Anyway, let's jump in game and show you how these abilities actually work. It's one thing reading about them, it's another thing seeing them in action. So first up, the Q.
Sending out my decoy.
Send it out. It stops when it hits objects. He's kind of stuck behind that tree. But the cooldown is another thing to look at, because this is a very short cooldown. It's already good to go. It's about a 12-second cooldown, which is great. Now, if I crouch, send it out, he crouches to a location, and he'll go to wherever your target is pointing.
Taking him out with a decoy.
Going in for the kill.
Good kid.
squad down.
Boom, whole squad down.
Okay, so it's time to demonstrate the ultimate now. We press Z once, we go invisible, and decoys are thrown around. But like I said, they go in a circle, and they're very obviously decoys. They last a short amount of time, and while you are invisible and cloaked, you can run pretty quick. But you cannot respond, you cannot shoot back, you cannot take any actions. So you're a sitting duck. Oh, I'm in trouble. Potato aim. Oh, so here you go. That's the decoy that's created. And I'm invisible. And that gave me time to get safe. Now I'm up here. And I'm in a great place. Oh, he cannot. He's out of ammo. He's just punching. Ripperoni and pepperoni. Boom! So there you go. Some examples of Mirage in action. One of my favorite things about Mirage is his execution is one of the most embarrassing in the game. To the point where often you will execute someone and they will rage quit mid-execution just because they don't want to be moonwalked on, man. That's really humiliating. It's devastating. Next up, we're going to look at Caustic and see what he brings to the table.
Good. I'm good. What can I say? Did I say that I'm good? Because, well, I am.
Okay, so let's talk abilities. You can see there at the bottom left, it's got Q and it's got 3 charges next to it. I can put one down here. And then if someone comes around that corner, I'll know they're there. So another thing, these traps are physical entities. And that means if we put one here, and one here maybe, it does mean that if someone's outside and they want to get in, they can't get in. The door's jammed. So it's a useful barricading tool. Let's see if we can find a situation where we can expose some dudes to some toxic gas. Sending out the grenade. Gas has gone out. So that's what the gas looks like when it goes out. It throws like a normal grenade. If people are caught inside, they will be revealed. However, it's difficult. It's very situational. But there you go. That's what it looks like when someone goes into your gas trap. That's a bit of a Hail Mary. I was a fool. So that is how Caustic works. That's his basic rundown of his abilities. He's powerful, but he's situational. I hear people rating him higher than Mirage. Again, I guess it's all down to personal preference and opinion to some degree. He's got a unique style to him, so he's still a very cool character. So in closing, are the 2 new heroes overpowered? When you buy these, do you buy yourself a serious advantage in the game? I would say no. I think Mirage's abilities are very, very strong, but he still doesn't match some of the utility provided by Lifeline, Pathfinder, and Bloodhound. Caustic also, if you're going to play a heavy and a tank, Gibraltar is really strong. Much stronger, I would say, than Caustic. But again, if you like the playstyle, if you like the idea of gas traps, and you are a bit more of a tactician with a team that wants to camp around buildings and have that be your playstyle, certainly he has a place there. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Caustic and Mirage. If you want to see me do more hero breakdowns, look at some of the other heroes, what they do, if they're good, how good they are, certainly say so in the comment section. Because I'm really loving Apex Legends at the moment. It's a really solid game, and I'd love to just dive deeper into the game and then together discover more and learn a thing or two about how the game works. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Sure. Bye.